What's going on, everyone? Let's talk about a movie from the director of The Town That Dreads Sundown, and that's The Evictors. It's on this DVD Blu-ray pack from Shout Factory. It's only on the DVD, so they basically give it to you for free. You buy this movie, you buy The Evictors. It comes along with it, which tells you that's not that good of a movie. There's not a supply and demand for it, so they're just like, here, you can take it. If you buy this movie, you get this not so good movie with it. And yeah, it's not a good movie. I'll say that right now. I didn't care for it. So, uh, this movie is about this couple that move into this house that has a history of people dying there, and they get notes threatening them saying you should get out, get out, Amityville horror, and so they're trying to figure out who's trying to get them out of the house and learn about the history throughout the movie. They keep learning about all the different shit that's been happening over the years, yada yada yada, and then there's a reveal who's responsible, and yeah, that's it. This story is very basic, so I didn't like it. I have like hardly anything positive to say about it. I will say that this movie has a good cast. It has Michael Parks in it, and it has Jessica Harper from Suspiria, so I like them, and I like their characters in this movie. They have a good on-screen chemistry together. I like their characters. They're you know I think they're newlyweds. They just got married, or they're just buying a house for the first time, and I like them. They're good characters. Uh, and I like that they buy a gun. I'm sick of movies where shit hits the fan and they're just like, I don't know what to do. It's like, go buy a gun. Like, if someone's threatening you, you need to protect yourself. So I'm glad they went and bought a gun. Unfortunately, it doesn't really do much to help them in this movie. But that's really all I have to say positive about the movie, is that I like the actors here, and I like their chemistry together. I like their characters. They're fine. They're the only good thing about the movie, really. There's nothing else that I really liked about it. So, negatives. Um, this movie just is boring. It's very boring. It's very generic, and it's predictable. The little twists that they throw in at the end. There's a woman wearing a very obvious wig the entire time, and there's tons of camera shadows and boom mics, so it's poorly made. And when you get this reveal of who's doing it and why, it's just a dumb motivation, and the exposition dialogue is just odd. It's like the person is explaining why they're doing what they're doing to the other person who should already know because they're working with them. So I didn't understand what the hell that was all about. And the music is just awful in this movie too. It sounded like cartoony at times. It gave the movie a weird tone. I didn't like the music, and like I said, it was just boring. And that's really the biggest crime that any movie can commit, is that you should never be boring. You should always be interesting, engaging, create a unique story. This is just a story about people who don't want other people to live in this house, so they're threatening them, trying to get them to leave. There's no moment in the movie where it's like maybe it's a ghost story. Like there's no real mystery to the movie. They failed to create any kind of suspense and good mystery as to what's going on. Is it a real haunted house, or is there just somebody fucking with them? They show you who's doing everything pretty early on. So it's just like, what? This is just a poorly crafted movie, and it's just boring as fuck. So I guess say final thoughts: do not check this movie out. Yeah, it has a good cast and the acting's serviceable. And, I like these two actors from other movies. If you bought this Blu-ray already and you saw that this movie was on it and you're curious as to whether or not you should check it out, the answer is no. It is not worth your time. It is just not a good movie. So when it comes to The Evictors, I'll give it 2 out of 5 stars. All right, time for a very brief spoiler discussion. There's not much to talk about. It's been about a week since I've seen the movie. I just didn't feel like talking about it right away. So my memory is very fuzzy now on this movie. I just remember that the twist was very obvious who was involved. I mean, they show you the one guy, and he's living next door with the old lady, but she's not old. They hired like this 30-some-year-old lady to play an old lady in a wheelchair with a very bad, obvious gray wig, and she calls herself Oldie. That's her name. They keep calling her that throughout the whole movie. Hey, Oldie, where are you, Oldie? And then she takes off the wig and it's like this dun 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 moment, like, oh, she's not old, and she was the lady from the opening. And they just don't want people to live in the house. It's just a weak motivation. It's like, if we can't have the house, then no one can have the house. And anyone who moves in, we're just going to fucking kill them because no one else can live there. So we're just going to live next door. Is there something I missed? Because that's all I got from the movie, is that they're living next door to this house and they're killing people that move in because if they can't live there, then no one else can. And there's like one on-screen kill in the movie, really. The black guy chopping wood, he gets axed in the back. It's a PG movie, so there's no gore, not a lot of like on-screen violence, no blood, hardly at all. So it's very tame. But that's 1979 for you. There's a lot of PG movies back then. And so, yeah, they buy a gun, smart, but then she ends up just shooting her own husband, and you knew that was about to happen. Very predictable. And Vic Morrow's in the movie. I didn't bring him up earlier, and he comes and saves the day, and it's the tropey, like, the real estate guy's not telling them everything. He sells them the house, not telling them the full truth. That's in 1,000 movies. They never disclose everything about the house. They keep secrets. And then the movie ends with the main lady. She kills the other ones, or they get killed, and she escapes. She's fine. And then it's like 3 years later, and someone else moves into the house, and then we get narration over the credits saying, "Oh, the people who just moved in," as the credits are rolling, they died at some point. One of them hung themselves, and the other one was murdered, I think. The end. It's like, okay, so now, even though the killers are dead, people are still dying at this house. So it's just a cursed house. So is there a supernatural element to the movie also? I mean, it was a grounded in reality film up until the end credits that was kind of suggesting that the house is killing people now, making people go crazy, like Amityville. I don't know. But it was just a dumb ending. I mean, narration is just kind of lazy storytelling, if you ask me. And so, yeah, just nothing else to talk about, really. Oh, there was a moment where a guy got shot with a pistol. And he, like, flew back out a window. Like, he got shot with a shotgun, like something very powerful. It was like a hand pistol. But, yeah, like, when the motivation is given, if I remember correctly, I think I wrote it down, like, she's giving her speech to her son or lover or whoever he was, like he doesn't already know. Like, why is she talking out loud about what they're doing and why to the other person, her accomplice? That would make sense if she was saying that to, like, Jessica Harper's character. Like, this is why we're fucking with you and why we're killing you. We don't want anyone to have this house. But she's saying it to this person who already knows. I didn't understand that at all. Did I miss something? I must have, because that sounds really stupid. But yeah, I mean, I was paying attention, but maybe I still somehow missed something. Who knows? Maybe you'll let me know in the comments below. But yeah, it's just fuck. What a boring, generic movie that just failed completely. So those are my thoughts on this movie. Let me know what you thought about it, if you've even seen it, in the comments below. And as always, if you like what you've seen here, you can hit this like button. Really appreciate it. And become a subscriber today just by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds. And remember, it's just an opinion. You don't need to get butthurt about it.